the mayor of Minneapolis, that you talk about somebody being in over his head, that clown, Jacob Fry, he said the area will be reopened in phases, but not according to the activists. Oh, no. No way. Leon Lyons of a security company called Truth to Enlightenment, a security company, told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, anything that the city brings in here will not stay by the end of night. I guarantee you. The activists are saying there's no way. We'll put the barricades back. George Floyd Square stays. It's like something out of Mad Max. Remember the movie Mad Max with Mel Gibson? These lunatics have closed down all the blocks around where George Floyd died over a year ago. Try to be a white person and walk through George Floyd Square at 10 o'clock at night. Good luck. See, this is the left. This is what we're up against. This is right versus left. This is good versus evil. Certainly right versus wrong. Hey, I got news for you, Leon Lyons of what a fake security group, security company. Remind me not to have you do any security for any event we do. Municipal workers began taking away the city barricades about 4:30 in the morning. They're trying to do it in the middle of the night. The area is 38th in Chicago. It's dubbed George Floyd Square. The activist, the mood, I don't know. No justice, no peace, said the protesters. Longtime community activist Al Flowers said black lives have not really benefited from what's been happening. I'm saying as a Southside resident, it's time to open. It's time to open. At least two news media photographers ran into resistance. One was assaulted and ordered to destroy the footage as they tried to work. George Floyd Square. It's viewed as sacred ground, according to Axios. Okay, sacred ground. Then treat it as such. That doesn't mean you have gun violence and you shoot people and you assault people and you graffiti walls and you shut down businesses. That's not sacred. That's unholy. It's unbelievable that all these officers are having to deal. They got police with riot gear on the outskirts. They don't go into George Floyd Square because they don't let the cops into George Floyd Square. It's an autonomous zone. Don't you know? An autonomous zone. Do you realize the lunacy that's coming from today's left and the Democrat Party? This is a Democrat construct. There are no Republicans arguing that there ought to be barricades up and there ought to be a George Floyd Square. Are voters paying attention? Are Americans paying attention? 1-800-655-MIKE. 800-655-6453. Headline, activists push back against the attempt to reopen George Floyd Square. Just let them keep running havoc through the streets of Minneapolis and Portland, Seattle, LA, New York. Burn it down. Go ahead, right? No, that's not what a decent and civil society that respects the rule of law should do. Enough is enough is enough. And it's nice to see Americans stand up against this garbage. And that's what it is. This is garbage. These are angry, violent people who want an excuse to behave like the characters in that Mel Gibson movie, Mad Max. They want to own the streets. They want to hate on white people. They want to commit acts of violence and destruction. And there's not a damn Democrat who says a thing about it. Not one Democrat seems to be condemning any of this nonsense. Gee, here's Brett. Hey, Brett, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. What do you make of the insanity we're witnessing here as a country?
The George Floyd Square reminds me of the movie Escape from New York.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. Or Mad Max, or maybe Independence Day with this is like alien behavior. Streets just being taken over by angry activists. Although there is good news about the aliens, they've discovered, or they determined that the UFO footage that has been recently revealed, they don't think it's from like outer space aliens, but they still don't know what it is. That'll let you sleep at night, huh? Here's Mike. Mike, welcome. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Doing pretty great. Happy Friday.
You too. I just want to touch base with that George Floyd. You know, with all the rioting and the destroying of all their own communities and everything. You know, when do we get to the point where we just let them? You know, like it says in the Bible. You know, the serpent swallows its own tail. You know, and just let them do what they want.
I know.
And destroy each other, and you know, to take it a little bit farther, like in North Carolina and in Washington, there's parts of them states that are trying to get annexed into like Idaho, and like even Minnesota has talked about getting annexed into the Dakotas. And if we can get all this to happen, we can give them guys in big cities and all our votes, and we'll take delegates away from them, and eventually they aren't going to have any say in anything. They're just going to destroy themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that argument is that that's what they want. They want to be able to take over cities. They want to destroy cities. They want to be able to control the police, shut them down, and we can't let them. We just can't. It's got to stop. And anybody who lives in Portland, I mean, I know this has become second nature to you. You have to know that if you live outside Minneapolis, if you live outside Portland, you can't believe what these cities are experiencing. You just can't. It's a form of insanity that, again, I'm sorry to make everything political. I don't know how else to describe it. These are cities run by Democrats. These aren't Republican-run cities. So reap what you sow.